Hey guys, Sparks here back with another Goddess of Victory Nikke video. I'm out of town right now visiting family, so if the quality isn't quite as good as normal, I do apologize, and happy holidays to those of you who are here in North America, which I have a feeling is probably the majority of my audience, but if you're not, hope you're having a good day too. Anyway, today I want to do an account review. So, it's sort of an awkward time. I was originally going to do a 2-week account review, but then it kind of seemed too soon, and then I was going to do 1 month. But I don't know, I think this is actually a good time because we've had our first 2 events now, and it's right after the holidays here, and it just feels like a good time to do an account review. And we also had that big announcement that I talked about in my last video where they really acknowledged a lot of the bugs, and we're going to kind of see where I'm at in the game and if it's kind of worth continuing to go forward even with all the issues that the game has had. So you can see here I have my lovely Diesel here. I did get that mission pass, and so I got the exclusive outfit for her, and there was just like a lot of good value there with gems as well. I'm a very light spender, but I don't mind supporting the games that I play, and I do want to be somewhat competitive with this game as well, and just, you know, be able to show off cool stuff to you guys as well, because like maybe you guys didn't get the mission pass, so now you can see Diesel here in her alternative skin. Anyway, you might find that my account is a little bit weaker than expected, but actually, we'll talk about how it's actually probably stronger than it looks on the surface. I just beat Chapter 10, and the first thing I want to show you is my squad. So this was my OG squad that I got right away when starting the game. I started out with 1 Burst 1, 2 Burst 2s, and 2 Burst 3s. Neon is a pretty solid MR, as well as Rappy is a pretty good DPS, and Anise is pretty solid overall, and she looks great, so I wanted to use her. But Privity is definitely my main carry, and then Dola is probably the best Burst 2 in the game, definitely one of the best supports in the game. And when I first did my reroll, I was more going for overall value than one specific really strong DPS like Scarlet or Heron. So when I got this reroll, I ended up giving Privity, which is probably the best attacker outside of Pilgrims, and I also got Dola and a duplicate of Dola. So that was like a huge win. I decided to stick with that account, and ultimately I think, you know, as new units keep getting released, you know, the old units tend to like fall off, and generally having really good support such as Dola are going to have a longer lifespan than an attacker that will oftentimes just get outstatted and fall behind sooner with newer units released. So that was kind of my philosophy. But now we'll take a look at my current squad here, what I'm using. By the way, if you want me to do a video on kind of getting the best value out of Nikke and sort of my philosophy on gacha games in general, let me know in the comments below. I'll be happy to kind of do something on that to help you guys out. Anyway, so here's my current squad that I'm working with. Still have Privity as my main attacker, and I still have Dola as my Burst 2, but now I've switched to a 2 Burst 1s, 1 Burst 2, and then 2 Burst 3s, which the community has generally kind of come to the consensus that this is one of the strongest setups. You can do 3 Burst 3s, but you really kind of have to have exactly the right stuff to make that worth that. And I don't have any of the super OP Burst 3s anyway. So generally you want 2 Burst 1s, a Burst 2, and then 2 Burst 3s because that's how the cooldowns work really well. And you can see that now I have all SSRs. I have Volume, which is not only an amazing upgrade visually, but also she is one of the best supports. I don't have Leader, but other than Leader, she's one of the strongest. And now I'm using Alice as my other attacker in Burst 3, and I do have the 1 Pilgrim here of Rapunzel, who I think is a little underrated. She has extremely strong healing capabilities and can even revive units, and I think she's going to be very helpful in the later stages. So let's take a look at my Nikkes in general. I don't think anyone's really worried about leveling up their R rank Nikkes. And I've been going with the strategy of only leveling 5 at a time. I'm leveling 4 MRs here. I have Rappy, Mihara, Anise, and Neon. And then I'm leveling Privity. So I actually have her, we'll go into her right here. She's kind of like the main centerpiece of my account right now. She's always so nervous. It's funny. I actually have her on 2... oops, let's go back. On 2 limit breaks. So her level cap is 160, so there's no downside for me leveling her. I don't have to level another MR, so she works just as well in the sync, and hopefully soon I will get her on that 3rd limit break and I can reach level 200. But she's great. You can see I have all her skills here at level 4. Level 4 is like the last level where you don't have to use these like higher level things. So I've kind of just been waiting to do that at the moment, to do too much of that. But she's been great. Her burst is really strong. It's a huge AoE and it stuns the enemies. It's great. Her other really good ability is... let's see. This like last round one, which is really helpful when you're emptying your magazines quickly. And then I have Dola here, who again is just a super strong unit, and I have her at 1 limit break. And again, I have all of her skills at 4. And her really strong ability is the risk sharing, which activates when their burst skill activates, and it keeps stacking the more times you use it. So she synergizes really well with Volume, who is my next unit here, who is fantastic because if we look at her skills, who I also have all at level 4, she has Drop the Beat, which again stacks the more times you use it. So they just really start to ramp up together and synergize really well. Then I have Rapunzel here, who you know, gets some good AoE damage because she's a rocket launcher. Again, I have all her skills at level 4. And then here her burst is where she can actually revive a downed unit, which is super cool. I don't think any other unit can do that so far, and then just has like generally really strong healing. And I also was lucky enough to get 1 duplicate of her. Would have been cool to get someone like Heron instead, but I mean, hey, a duplicate of a Pilgrim is still pretty amazing. And then here's my last unit that I've been focusing on in the squad here, which is Alice. You can see I am going for a little bit of a charge theme, so her skills that work with the charge effect is really good with Dola and with Rapunzel. And she just does some really good single target damage here. Pepper is strong. I have her in my Gravedigger or whatever the S interception mission is. Also have Uni here, which is pretty good, although I haven't utilized her a whole lot. I used Crow for a while just because I really am a big fan of her design, and using the SMGs is great for just like constant DPS. Sugar I also have in my Gravedigger squad, because again, shotguns are super good, and she hits very hard, very big damage. I'll probably start upgrading her skills pretty soon, because I have all of her at level 1 right now. Then we have Mary. I haven't used her a whole lot just because she's a burst 1. I've been using Pepper instead. And then Rupee, who is really good. But again, I haven't used her a whole lot because I have Dola. But Rupee can be quite strong as well, and sometimes I just put her in for fun. Senti, haven't really utilized her a lot, but she's pretty cool. I like her design too. And then I have Signal, who I've heard is not bad. But again, anything that's burst 2 just kind of gets outshined by Dola. And then here is Diesel in her lovely alternative costume here. And then Miranda, I think, is my last SSR. And I haven't used her a whole lot, but all these get really helpful in the tribal towers. And then we got Rappy, and Mihara, Anise, and Neon, and I don't really have anybody else synced after that. Okay. What else? Let's take a look at equipment really briefly. I don't have any of that coveted tier 7 or higher equipment. I have a lot of tier 5, and I do have a little bit of tier 6 equipment as well, although I'm not finding any good examples of tier 6. Oh, there's some tier 6. So I'm pretty much working with tier 5 and tier 6 equipment all around. I haven't upgraded much because I feel like it's just a bit of a waste of resources. But equipment is probably where my account is lacking the most, I would say. But, you know, that just sort of comes over time. And I would recommend you don't worry too much about equipment yourself either. Until you're getting really high up there and you really need to start upgrading it. Sometimes I'll upgrade things a little bit, like I did some of the tier 4 equipment because I just kind of reached a little bit of a wall and needed that extra push. So yeah, not a whole lot to talk about equipment yet, which I think is a little bit of a downside of the game, but also there is a lot of stuff to do, so maybe we'll just have more involved and cooler equipment when we get further into the game and we're kind of more established and more used to all of the systems. Don't want to be too overwhelming for like new players right away. All right, the last thing I want to talk about is the Outpost. We can see kind of where my progress is on that. One thing about this game is that you always have to deal with those loading screens. This video is getting long already. Okay, so you can see I do still have several places that need to be built, but it is filling out. I focus mostly on this area down here, so I have most of my things built there. If you take a look at the Tactics Academy, I have all of the lessons finished until this last set here. I did the first one, but I have 3 more lessons in here. But it starts to get really, really expensive for each of these. So it's kind of become a choice of do I want to upgrade this or my Nikkes. So I think these last 3 might be kind of slow for me to actually do. But I think it is a good idea to prioritize this in general because it just makes you claim resources faster, which will in the end make you level your Nikkes faster as well. And then you can take a look at, not infrastructure core, the recycling room real quick here. You can see how I've been leveling this. What else? Oh, I need to claim some things from the bulletin board. Ooh, it's not loading. Oh, never mind, I need to dispatch some. Yeah, don't forget about this. You get a lot of stuff from the bulletin board. Okay, what else? If I go into the command center really quick here, I'll show you who I've been advising. Pretty much the same Nikkes that I have on my squad. And I haven't used a whole lot of gifts. I've given a couple out, but mostly I'm saving those. If I pull a brand new unit, I can like level them up really quickly. But you can see I have most of the Nikkes that I'm using on either level 6 or 7. Alice is a little bit behind there. And I haven't done my advising for today, so we'll get a quick boost there. All right. Last thing I promise. Let's go back to our lobby here. I think this video is already like almost 15 minutes long, but hopefully this has been interested, and you can kind of compare where your progress is and your account is compared to mine. If I go to my outpost, you can see my outpost defense is level 43. We'll just claim this stuff really quick while we're here. And then we'll take a quick look at my union. If you want to join my union, we recently had a few players that dropped off because they just didn't stick with the game. And then we leveled up, so we opened up some more spaces. So I'll have a link to our Discord. Discord is required. Go ahead and apply to our union and also join the Discord. Let us know you sent an invite. And let me know. I'd love to have as many people who are subscribed to the channel here also in the union. So hit us up. We're making progress. We're trying to be semi-competitive here. Shooting range, I should probably focus on this a little bit more. I haven't done this for a few days, so I'm down here in 5th place in my union. But yeah, so let me know how your progress is going. Let me know what you think I could improve on my account. And, lastly, I said that I would talk about kind of plans for the future and why it might be a little stronger than it actually looks. So, like I said, I think my strong supports, such as going for Dola and volume, people like that, will last longer than just going all in on one DPS like Scarlet. And you can see I have not been pulling for new units. I have a lot of gems saved up here because Although it's fun to pull for new units, I've just been using my free tickets because I'm kind of waiting for a banner that I think really stands out, and then I can grab that new unit that's like kind of the must-have. And so far, I just don't think we've seen that yet. And hopefully we'll have a cool Christmas and New Year's event, which I would expect that comes out in most of these games. So yeah, let me know how you're doing, what you think I should be doing better with my account. And I think I am going to stick with the game. Surprised, I mean, despite all of its issues, I think that it is a lot of fun, and they're kind of getting over these like initial growing pains, and I want to see how this game can evolve and get better over time, and continue to grow the channel here as well. So I'm trying to reach a goal of 500 subscriptions. Please give me a sub if you can, share the video, comment down below, like, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.